Hey guys, and finally, after 5 months since the October event, we got a new Apple event. And in case you don't want to watch the full 58-minute event this time, I'm going to give you, a quick recap instead. So let's get to the first Apple event recap of 2022. So to kick things off for 2022, Apple released a new color for the iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro, and it's green for the iPhone 13 and Alpine green for the iPhone 13 Pro. And I'm not really a big fan of green in general, but I gotta say, the green iPhone 13 does look pretty good. Next up is the third generation iPhone SE. Dang it, the rumors were true for some reason. The new iPhone SE now has the A15 Bionic chip, which, yes, is the same chip in the iPhone 13 and many other Apple products. And speaking of the iPhone 13, if you want to know more about the A15 Bionic chip, just click the card in the top right corner and skip to the part where I talk about the A15 Bionic. The new iPhone SE also comes in some new colors like Midnight, Starlight, and the same good old product red. The new iPhone SE now features the toughest glass in a smartphone on the front and back. And also, Apple says this is the same glass they used in the iPhone 13, so ceramic shield? The new iPhone SE now has a better battery life, by 2 more hours in fact. Well, that's pretty good, considering that the iPhone SE is known for having the worst battery life in a new iPhone. The new iPhone SE now supports 5G cellular, so that means, with the 5G carrier, you'll get the fastest download speeds, upload speeds, and many other more perks compared to 4G. The new iPhone SE also got some minor updates with the camera, like Deep Fusion, Smart HDR4, and photographic styles. Wow, a flagship iPhone exclusive feature, now on a budget iPhone. Nice! The new iPhone SE will be starting at $429 and what an unexpected upgrade. Well, at least for me. So out of Apple's entire iPad lineup, the iPad Air is the oldest. So, introducing the new 5th generation iPad Air with the freaking M1 chip. That is very cool, but why? Anyways, with the M1 chip compared to the A14 Bionic chip from the 4th gen iPad Air, the new iPad Air gets a 60% performance increase and a 2x graphics performance increase. The new iPad Air also features a 12-megapixel ultra-wide front camera, which, you guessed it, center stage is now on the iPad Air, just like every other iPad. Hey, they're all matching now. The new iPad Air now has 5G cellular. So, just like the new iPhone SE, that means you'll get the fastest download speeds, upload speeds, and many other perks compared to 4G. And along with the super fast 5G cellular connections, the USB-C port on the iPad Air is now 2 times faster for stuff like syncing photos and videos from drives and cameras. And for the colors, the new iPad Air comes in space gray, starlight, pink, purple, and a new blue. You know, it still feels kind of weird how Apple didn't just make entirely new colors, but okay. The new iPad Air will be starting at $599 and what another unexpected upgrade. Like seriously, the M1 chip in the iPad Air? Like Apple, what are you doing? Anyways, the M1, the M1 Pro, the M1 Max. Surely this is the end of the M1 lineup, right? Nope. Introducing the M1 Ultra. Oh my god, another one? Another one. Anyways, so you're probably wondering, how did Apple make the M1 Ultra? Well, it was actually made by a secret feature about the M1 Max that Apple didn't tell us until now. So pretty much there's a magnetic clip at the bottom of the M1 Max, there it is, right there, and pretty much Apple just took 2 M1 Maxes, put them together, boom, M1 Ultra. Nice. And if you're wondering, the technology is called UltraFusion. Cool. And with this technology, it allows for 2.5 terabytes per second of interprocessor bandwidth. The M1 Ultra also has 114 billion transistors, which is 7 times more than the M1. What? The M1 Ultra also has 800 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth with, get this, 128 gigabytes of unified memory. Holy jeez! I can open up literally all the apps in the world with no lag. The M1 Ultra now has a 20-core CPU with 16 high-performance cores and 4 high-efficiency cores, and for the GPU, a 64-core GPU, which is 8 times faster than the M1. I just can't even fathom how this is possible, but it's cool. The M1 Ultra's neural engine also got an upgrade with 32 cores and 22 trillion operations per second. Whoa, the M1 Ultra's media engine also got an upgrade with 2 video decode engines, 4 video encode engines, and 4 ProRes encode and decode engines.
That sounds like it's fast.
And oh, would you look at that? More graphs that I don't really care to read off.
You're welcome. Again.
So the M1 Ultra is, yet again, another pretty awesome chip if I do say so myself. But what's going to be the first Mac to take advantage of it? A new iMac? A new MacBook Air? Nope. In fact, a completely new Mac, introducing the Mac Studio and Studio Display.
Studio Display. I think I've heard that name before. It's probably nothing.
Anyways, let's start off with the Mac Studio. The Mac Studio's base is 7.7 inches squared, and the height is 3.7 inches, and Apple says that the Mac Studio takes up very little space.
Still looks like the Mac Mini after quarantine.
Anyways, for the cooling system, there's a double-sided blower on the bottom base of the Mac Studio, and then the air travels through the internals, then making contact with the processor to cool it down, and then the air goes out the back where all the holes are. And because of this advanced cooling system, even with the most extreme tasks, you'll barely even hear the fan turn on.
Oh, well that's pretty good because... yeah.
So for the connectivity, on the back, it features 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, a 10 gigabit Ethernet port, a power port, obviously, an HDMI port, a Pro headphone jack, and guys, get this, 2 USB-A ports.
What? USB ports in a modern Mac?
Yeah, I'm shocked too. Oh, and also on the front there's 2 USB-C ports. If you get the M1 Max model. If you get the M1 Ultra model, they're Thunderbolt 4 ports. Nice. And finally, there's an SD card reader.
Whoa, that was a lot of ports.
So I would have just read off all these CPU and GPU graphs comparing the Mac Studio to the 27-inch iMac and Mac Studio, but I'm not. Although to sum it up, the Mac Studio with the M1 Max is 3.4 times faster than the fastest 27-inch iMac, and the Mac Studio with the M1 Ultra is 80% faster than the fastest Mac Pro.
Something faster than a Mac Pro?
Yup, it's pretty fast. But anyways, the Mac Studio's SSDs also got an upgrade with 7.4 gigabytes per second of SSD performance and up to an 8 terabyte SSD capacity.
Dude, you would have like storage for life.
Also, you thought the 2021 MacBook Pro being able to play 7 streams of 8K ProRes video was impressive? Well, the Mac Studio could play 18 streams of 8K ProRes video.
I have no words anymore. I just don't.
Well, looks like that's everything for the Mac Studio. Now, for the Studio Display. The Studio Display is pretty much what you'd expect from an Apple monitor. I mean, it's got an all-screen design with narrow borders, an aluminum enclosure, and it also comes with a stand that can rotate up to 30 degrees. Although, if you do need more adjustability, you could still buy the $1,300 Pro stand with it.
Apple, just please lower the price.
Oh, and there's also a VESA mount adapter to mount on a wall horizontally or vertically. The Studio Display has a 27-inch display size, which, you probably guessed it, it's a 5K Retina display. The Studio Display also has True Tone, so the color will look good in any light. And just like the Pro Display XDR, there's also a nano texture glass option.
That's probably gonna be like $1,000 more, but whatever.
So, here's something a little weird. The Studio Display actually has an A13 Bionic chip built in, and you're probably wondering,
why?
Well, it's actually because the Studio Display has a 12 megapixel ultra-wide front camera built in, which, since it's ultra-wide, it supports Center Stage, which is the first Mac to support Center Stage. The Studio Display also includes a 3 studio quality mic array with a low noise floor, and for the speaker system, it has 4 force-canceling woofers and 2 tweeters, which also support spatial audio.
So the 2021 MacBook Pro speakers.
Yeah, pretty much. So for the connectivity on the Studio Display, it features 3 USB-C ports and 1 Thunderbolt port. And to go along with the Studio Display, Apple even refreshed the silver and black Magic Keyboard to include Touch ID, along with refreshing the Magic Trackpad and the Magic Mouse.
And I gotta say, they do look pretty fresh.
The Mac Studio with the M1 Max will be starting at $1,999 and the Mac Studio with the M1 Ultra will be starting at $3,999. Oh yeah, and the Studio Display will be starting at $1,599.
Man, $4,000 for a Mac. Apple has truly gone insane. Oh wait, that's everything Apple announced. Well, it looks like my work is done here. But anyways, that is the end of this Apple event recap. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment what was your favorite part of the Apple event, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.